so much of this work has to do, as I've mentioned, with practical spirituality. For me, we can have our heads in the clouds and keep learning new information and esoteric things, but if we're not grounding it and wrestling with how that shows up in our human existence, in our everyday challenges, which include things like emotions, moods, dreams, archetypes, all the languages of the soul, art and expression through dance and music and painting and sculpting and nature and the way that we move in nature and are part of nature. What I've come to see at the root of so much of this work is it's all about coming home to ourselves. That is what I feel most passionate about. I think many of us don't feel a sense of belonging. Maybe we've struggled to fit in or find our place. Maybe we've felt like we're wandering and floundering at times, unsure of ourselves. Maybe there's an aspect of, longing to be accepted and longing to have our voice and feel confident and get rid of that self-doubt parrot talking in our ear all the time, questioning everything that we do. Much of those things come from not feeling at home. And for me, the soul is home. That's home. We've lost connection to the world soul. We've lost connection to our own soul. And the reason I think I feel so passionate about things like the laws, living according to the laws of nature, or things like social justice and other passions of mine, it has to do with, when we move away from things like virtuous behavior, the laws of nature, these kinds of things, we move away from home. We are no longer living at home. When I teach the Wisdom of Fairy Tales classes and we go through fairy tales and we look at all the archetypes in fairy tales and how those show up in our lives, inevitably that is what everyone feels, is like, oh, right, it's a journey of coming home to myself. It's a journey of getting to know myself better. We are so used to the quick fix, the magic pill, the instant gratification, and having everything work immediately. But real progress, real sustainable progress that is able to be embodied and become who we are and who we want to be on this earth is a gentle, subtle, slow progression. We can't force the bud open and ask it to bloom faster than it's ready to bloom. And so when we are willing to do that work, to go deep and to wrestle with things and these things that may seem mundane, like, oh, why do I need to pay attention to my emotions? I don't, most people don't want to look at their emotions because they're painful. And we don't want to feel pain. We're trained to not feel pain. So I'm inviting you to be with it, stay with it, hang in there. We know that taking this journey is going to bring up our stuff and it's going to ruffle up some feathers within us and make us look at things that maybe we're uncomfortable looking at. It's much easier to keep our head in the clouds and just keep learning new information and study esoteric teachings and look at that kind of thing than it is to actually look at our earthly expression of soul, how we connect with soul, and trust that that's how spirit moves in us. I hope that brings some inspiration. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm pretty passionate about this. It is something that I'm noticing I have to speak out about more and more. I see it happening in the ways that we give our own authority up to other authority. I see it happening in the ways that we fail to communicate and speak our voice and speak our truth, or in the ways that we try to hide from things through our addictions and our habits and our patterns that aren't serving us, that allow us to just maintain the status quo. I see it happening in the ways that we try to find something to cling to give us the answers because we're so uncomfortable living in the questions.